hey, yeah, I'm just pondering here, pondering this map. Where to go, what to do, how to get there, and how long it's going to take me if I go the route that I'm choosing. Today I want to talk to us about pondering. This is the Daily. I'm Phil Underwood, and we're talking about guarding our heart. I hope you'll stick with me as we go through this. This is the last episode about guarding your heart, but I think it might be one of the most important pieces of it. This whole little section of the end of Proverbs 4 is one of the most valuable sections in all of Scripture. As a matter of fact, it shows us the love of God, the concern of God, the care of God, the provision of God, and that He loves us and He favors us so much that He tells us things before we need them. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom is knowledge before you need it. So that when you come up to a decision, you come up to a moment, or when you come up to a situation in life, you'll know how to decide. You'll know what to do. You'll know what to say. You'll know how to be in that moment. And you won't be just given to emotions and this external forces that make you go crazy sometimes. You ever go crazy sometimes? I've gone crazy sometimes, and I don't like it. People around me don't like it. And the end of the situation is that crazy never accomplishes anything. Wisdom accomplishes something. So God says to us in this fourth chapter of Proverbs, He says to us some very important things. He says, listen, I am giving you my word. When somebody gives you your word, you've got to decide if they're trustworthy or not. We've got to decide if we can trust God, because He gives us His word. And He says, here's what I want you to know about my word. He said, I want you to lean into my word. I want you to pay attention to it. I want you to focus on it, because it is the source of your best life decision making. Follow me, He says, and we'll be successful. We'll prosper. We'll be in health, even as our soul prospers. That's the promise of God. And He's given it to us right here. And then He says, and when you have your word, the word, use it. He said, guard your heart. In other words, watch what influences your life. Let my word influence your life, and not externals, not circumstances, not people, not opinions, or even what's happening in the world. Do not let it run your life. Run your life from the inside out. With my word is the governor of your mind, your will, and your emotions, or your soul. Then He tells us, He says, watch your words. Let your words agree with my words about who you are, about what you are, that you have meaning, that you have purpose, that you have a reality in this world that is beyond this world. Let those words that you speak reemphasize what I say about you. Then He says this, He says, and then make sure you're fastened your vision on the future of what I'm calling you to, what I'm calling you to be. And then today we come to this most important third guardian. And that is where He says, pay attention to where you're going. This is very important, because sometimes if we go the wrong way and we get lost, it messes us up. I have been lost before. I know you've been lost. We don't feel good when we're lost. And He says this, He says to us, He says, map out your path. As a matter of fact, the last guardian is all about our forward progress. And He says this in these last few verses. There's 3 or 4 things He says to us. First, He says, ponder your path. In other words, sit down and decide, this is how I'm going to live my life forward. I'm going to make a strategy. This is the way I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live my life paying attention to God, watching where I'm going, watching my words. I'm going to ponder my path. The second thing He says there is establish your ways. So now that I know my strategy, I know how I'm going to walk, let's just do it. Establish it. Make a discipline of it. Get up the same way every day. Go to bed the same way every night. Give gratitude to God and to people around your life. Make sure that you're making wise decisions on every step forward. God says, if you'll make a plan and you'll walk toward the way that you feel best that I am leading you, I will direct your steps. And then He says, the third part of that, He says, stay the course. Stay on your course. Stay going in the right direction. Following my love, my word, my wisdom, stay the course. And then I like the last thing He says, and avoid the poop. He says, don't put your foot in evil. In other words, watch the potholes, watch the poop, and keep going forward, because you'll be a success. I'm Phil Underwood. Thank you for being with me on Guarding Your Heart here on the Dailies. I'll see you soon with a new episode and a new study. Bye-bye.